Hello, my birdies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin, and this is Robin's Reading Nest. If you're new here, please like and share this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you may be updated when I post or go live here on my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Robin's Reading Nest. Before we get into today's review, let me take a moment to apologize for my voice. I am dealing with a really bad cold and I'm trying to push through. So if my voice goes in and out or I sound congested, please bear with me. Okay, today's book review is The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat by Kelsey Moore. This is the first book in the Supreme series. Book number 2 is entitled The Supremes Sing the Happy Heartbreak Blues. I will be adding this book to my 2025 TBR. Okay, let's get into the review. Earl's All You Can Eat Diner in Plainview, Indiana is home away from home for Odette, Clarice, and Barbara Jean. Dubbed the Supremes in the tumultuous 1960s, they've weathered life's storms for over 4 decades and counseled one another through marriage and children, happiness, and the blues. Now, however, they're about to face their most challenging year yet. Proud, talented Clarice is struggling to keep up appearances as she deals with her husband's humiliating infidelities. Beautiful Barbara Jean is rocked by the tragic reverberations of a youthful love affair, and fearless Odette is about to embark on the most terrifying battle of her life. With wit, style, and sublime talent, Kelsey Moore brings together 3 devoted allies in a warm-hearted novel that celebrates female friendship and second chances. Let's meet our characters. This is the part of the video where I give visual representations of the characters. These images are not what the author has provided, but my own interpretation from the physical descriptions in the book and stock photos found on the internet. Our first character is Odette Henry. She was born in a sycamore tree. Her mother, Dora Jackson, was in her 10th month of pregnancy and fed up that her baby did not want to vacate her womb. Looking for solutions, she consulted a witch who told her to climb up a sycamore tree at noon and sing her favorite hymn. Dora was so enthralled in her song that she kicked the ladder, causing it to fall. At 1 o'clock, Odette was born. Odette's grandmother said, "A child born off the ground was born without the fear of falling," which meant Odette would have a life of fearlessness. She also said a fearless girl would grow up to become a reckless fool. Throughout the book, we see that Odette is the glue and the protector of the group. Our second character is Clarice Baker. Her first claim to fame was being the first black baby to be born in a white hospital. Her second claim was being an amazing piano player. But she gave up her dreams to wed Richmond and start a family. Clarice spends most of the book looking down her nose at others, while her personal life is in shambles. The whole town knows that Richmond is cheating on Clarice. At this point, it's an open secret. Before the wedding, Earl sat down with Clarice and told her that Richmond would make a wonderful husband one day. He would need to grow up first. Clarice is the epitome of girls marry their fathers. Our third character is Barbara Jean Maxbury. Her mother, Loretta Perdue, was an exotic dancer who tried to convince 4 different men that they were the father of Barbara Jean. After reading the story about Clarice being born in a white hospital, Barbara Jean's mom was bound and determined to have her be the second baby to be born there. Instead, Barbara Jean was born on the Davenport sofa of a local teacher. Whenever that teacher saw Barbara Jean, she would always tell her the story of her birth. Earl became a father figure to Barbara Jean after her mother passed. He even gave her a place to live when Odette became suspicious of Barbara Jean's stepfather. Barbara Jean's beauty had all of the boys and men in town mesmerized, including a white boy named Chick, who was employed by Earl when they were teenagers. It was a love affair that could never be. As an adult, Barbara Jean and her husband both grieved the loss of their son, which can be seen in Barbara's alcoholism. Our fourth character is James Henry, Odette's husband. As teenagers, Richmond would bring James around as a date for Odette when Richmond and Clarice were dating. James worked landscaping with Lester while taking care of his ill mother. This would cause him to fall asleep during his dates with Odette. Odette really hated that. In the end, it all worked out, and James and Odette have the strongest marriage of them all. James would go on to have a career as an Indiana State police officer. Our fifth character is Richmond Baker, Clarice's husband. He was a local football hero whose professional career was ended due to an injury. He would later begin a career as a college recruiter. Richmond has been cheating on Clarice for the duration of their relationship. The only time he stopped was when he was hospitalized due to his diabetes. Clarice nursed him back to health, and it took all of 2 weeks before he was back to his shenanigans. Our sixth and final character is Lester Maxbury, Barbara Jean's husband. He is the oldest of the group and has a myriad of health ailments that require Barbara Jean to carry around a medicine cabinet of medications. He was in his 30s when he met teenage Barbara Jean. He owned a thriving landscaping business that afforded him and Barbara Jean a very prosperous life. One of his purchases was a blue 1967 Cadillac whose horn played the first three notes of the chorus to Ooh Baby Baby by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Even though I didn't list Earl McIntyre as a main character, we can see how much of an impact his family and his business has had on the Supremes and the community. Earl opened his all-you-can-eat in the mid-1950s, and it was the first black-owned business in downtown Plainview. Earl was the one who gave Odette, Clarice, and Barbara Jean the name The Supremes. As a matter of fact, all three couples continue to meet up there each Sunday after church. In the first chapter, we meet Odette and her mother Dora. Dora arrives in Odette's kitchen and tells her about her visit last night with Thelma McIntyre. Odette knows that Thelma has been dead for over 20 years. Her shock comes in when she realizes that her mother also visited with Earl, which means Earl had to have passed overnight. We get a nice kiki when we learn that Eleanor Roosevelt is Dora's best friend and is very mischievous. If Eleanor is around you a lot, you're about to pass to the other side. After Odette's mother leaves, Odette informs the reader that her mother passed away 6 years ago. This is how we learn that Odette can speak to the dead, a gift that she inherited from her mother. Later in the book, numerous ghosts all seem to want Odette to deliver messages for them. When the movie came out on Hulu, I promised myself that I would wait and read the book first. Being that it was on the Libby app, it took a few weeks before I could get it. But after reading it and thoroughly enjoying it, I got comfortable and I tuned in to the movie just to be so disappointed. I felt like Odette's communication with ghosts was the main device that carried the book. Without it in the movie, it came across as dull, and I spent the entire movie upset that it was taken out. And now I'm thinking that maybe I should go back and rewatch it and not compare it to the book. So for the itself, I gave it 3 stars. I took away a star for the ridiculous wedding scene and Earl's current wife because she was so annoying, and also because it flipped back and forth from the present to the Supreme's teenage years and back into the present. At times, I had to reread the paragraph to figure out who was narrating. Other than that, this was an entertaining read, and I would recommend it. All right, my birdies, have you read The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat? Have you watched the movie? What about the second book in the series, The Supremes Sing the Happy Heartbreak Blues? Did you put them on your TBR for next year? If so, drop down in the comments and let me know. That ends today's video. I'm so glad that you all decided to spend this time with me. And until we meet again, thank you for visiting Robin's Reading Nest, where birds of a feather read together.